Let's talk about Mark Levin. Can I get that on the screen, please? There we go. Okay, reminder for the Republican state legislatures. You have the final say over choosing of electors, not any board of elections, secretary of state, governor, or even court. You have the final say. Article 2 of the federal Constitution. So get ready to do your constitutional duty. Mark Levin is a right-wing commentator and TV show host and a far right-wing extremist. And he's essentially telling the American people, the state legislatures, to ignore the will of the people in order to decide who you are going to give your electoral votes to. I just want everybody, I'm not going to talk about this long, because I want everyone to just be fully aware of the extent to which Republicans are willing to go to seize and maintain power. They will ignore the Constitution. They will break the rules. They will break the law. They will disregard and break the Constitution. They will lie, cheat, steal, and even kill in order to maintain power. So understand and always remember that when you see Joe Biden trying to triangulate and get some bipartisanship with them at the expense of people like me, who shifted my entire platform from being one of the leading critics of the Democratic Party to being one of the leading oppositions to Donald Trump, because even though my guy lost in the primaries, I understood we needed to get rid of Donald Trump. And so I want everyone to remember, when you see this Democratic Party trying to triangulate with Republicans like Mark Levin, put that shit back on the screen, who is telling Republican legislatures across the state to ignore and break the Constitution in order to give Donald Trump power. When the Democratic establishment is trying to triangulate with people like him at the expense of people like me, remember who helped Donald Trump lose and helped Joe Biden win. People like me, who supported Bernie Sanders, but was mature enough and understood politics enough to say, okay, we still got to get rid of Donald Trump, versus trying to triangulate with people like Mark Levin, who would break the Constitution in order to maintain political power for the Republican/conservative movement. Just want you to remember that. I need you to remember that. Remember who got you over, because as it comes down to Atlanta, the voting is coming down to Fulton County, which is Atlanta. That's me. That's my vote that got you over the hurdle. And don't be so quick to sacrifice me in order to support some fanciful idea of bipartisanship with chuds like Mark Levin, who's willing to sacrifice this entire country in order to maintain political power. Now, that's my earnest plea. But we're not going to ask you for this. We are going to pressure you with a sufficient amount of primaries to make sure that you don't try to capitulate and triangulate with Republicans, and you listen to the people who put you in power. All right. That's it. I'm not going to make a big deal over it. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. Let's see this other tweet. There's a national task force on election crises. A state legislature cannot appoint its preferred slate of electors to override the will of the people after the election. This is in direct response to Mark Levin's tweet telling the legislatures that they can do this. And this is what it says. The president has chosen by the Electoral College. The president is chosen by the Electoral College, which is composed of electors from each state, the Constitution, delegates to Congress to choose the choice of when presidential electors must be appointed, and to state legislatures the power to choose the manner of appointing these electors. In carrying out these constitutionally delegated powers, Congress has designated Election Day as the Tuesday after the first Monday in November. And for more than a century, all states have selected their electors based on the popular vote. Although the power to choose the manner in which electors are appointed means that state legislatures theoretically could reclaim the ability to appoint electors directly before election day, my voice cracked, they may not substitute their judgment for the will of the people by directly appointing their preferred slate of electors after election day. Nor may they use delays in counting ballots or resolving election disputes as a pretext for usurping the popular vote. Doing so would violate federal law and undermine fundamental democratic norms. And it could also jeopardize a state's entitlement to have Congress defer to its chosen slate of electors. For more than a century, all 50 states have followed the democratic practice of appointing their electors based on popular elections. So while Republicans are running around here telling their state legislatures, which are unfortunately predominantly Republican, because over the 8 years of Barack Obama's presidency, there were some 1,000 seats, legislature seats in the state legislature that were lost. And so there is an overwhelming number of conservative. There are states that are going to go blue for Joe Biden that have conservative legislatures, and that's what Mark Levin is counting on. And that's what we have to be aware of in terms of we have to be aware of the truth. And the truth is that Republicans will lie in order to get power. Although the power of the manner in which electors are appointed, the power to choose the manner in which electors are appointed means that state legislatures could theoretically reclaim the ability to appoint electors directly before election day. This is just emphasizing what we already said. They may not substitute their judgment for the will of the people by directly appointing their preferred state slate of electors after election day. That's the critical thing that you need to know, and I want you to know that as you begin to see Republicans say that they have the right to ignore the Constitution, I need all 3,035 of you to understand two things. One, they're lying. First and foremost, they're lying. They are taking it out of context and reading it to their benefit. And similarly, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would deny. They would never say that state legislatures have the ability to appoint their own electors. If Donald Trump was winning, they would not say this. So not only are they lying, but they are absolutely hypocritical. And I want you to understand that, because they're going to start saying that talking point all across the internet tonight, right now. They're saying that talking point all across the internet because Donald Trump has sown the idea into their minds that the only possible way that he could lose is by some type of fraud. That's it. So I want you to have that truth so that you can weaponize truth against them as they weaponize lies against you.